this is Shayna, the artist and creator of Team Jessie Art and Comics. In this speed draw, we're making the barbarian Skadi. Skadi is the character played by my mother in the comic that I'm creating, called RP Comic. It's a comic based on Dungeons & Dragons games that I've DM'd over the years. So, some of the struggles with drawing this character mostly came from the fact that this was the first time that I was drawing her. The other characters were a little easier to draw because I had already created a comic around them before, though that comic was a little too hard to follow and needed a lot more work. Anyway, I scrapped that one and decided to use the same characters in a new, more cohesive story. Skadi required a bit more planning and adjustments here and there. As a matter of fact, between inking and drawing and the next live drawing session, I had to change a couple of things on her because it just really wasn't that interesting. I added chainmail and I moved a couple of belts around. No big deal. As for the color of Skadi, I chose a lot of warm colors to give her a down-to-earth look. That and my mother wanted a green and gold color scheme, so we kind of settled on bone and bronze and green and black. So a little bit about Skadi. She gets her name from the Norse goddess of hunting and winter. Like most D&D characters, she lost her parents when she was very young. And they were on their way traveling to a new settlement when they were attacked by a pack of wolves. Skadi fled from the slaughter and hid in a hole in a very large tree at the edge of a forest. Luckily, Skadi's parents had trained her in the art of foraging, which she was kind of an expert in, even at a very young age. She survived on her own for over a decade in the wilderness, foraging for food and using natural shelters in the forest. She easily befriended larger animals that helped to protect her while she was still small. As she grew older, she learned to hunt and build her own shelters. While living her life in the forest, Skadi had to deal with bandits and feral animals and the sort. Weapons and armor didn't really grow naturally on trees, but during one of her first encounters with bandits in the wilderness, she got her hands on a sword. And surprisingly, the barbarian was actually able to slay the entire camp of bandits all by herself. She took some of the chainmail armor off of one of the bodies, and from then on, she never really had to replace the equipment. To this day, she still wields the same rusted sword and chipped chainmail. Even given the chance to replace the equipment with something more functional, Skadi would still keep what she earned that time in the wilderness, kind of as a reminder of her accomplishments and her first real battle. She wasn't really trained in formal martial arts, but that didn't really stop her from victory. She learned the hard way, and nature is sometimes the best teacher. After a decade on her own, she began to grow curious about civilization outside the wilderness. She eventually made her way to a settlement. Skadi didn't really fit in with society, but she's determined to prove her worth to the people that she never really got to know. Skadi knows very little of common society, but she does understand power, and she knows what people, mainly bandits, what they would do to find things that she considered mostly meaningless, like gold and magic. So this, she knows, would buy her the reputation that she needs to become everything that she desires. For glory, renown, Skadi's become an adventurer in search of her place in the world that her parents never got her to know. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this speed draw. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and follow me on all the social media platforms. And if you like what I do, please consider supporting my work at patreon.com/teamjessie. Links in the description. And as usual, thanks for being part of the team.